Holistaplan presents Tax Time with Jeff Levine. Let's talk taxes. Hi, I'm Roger Pine from Holistaplan, and I'm here with Jeff Levine. He is the Chief Planning Officer at Buckingham Strategic Wealth, also a member of our team at Holistaplan as our tax planning strategist. Jeff, happy Monday, happy day after the Super Bowl. How's it going?
Good, man. Listen, happy Valentine's Day, man.
Yes, I should have led with that. You're totally right. Day after the Super Bowl. What am I doing? Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm feeling especially full of love today because over the last few weeks in my mailbox, I've been receiving mountains of 1099 NECs and I think 1099 MISC. I think it kind of depends who is sending it. But yeah, just like no Valentine's cards, but like 1099 just coming out the yin yang for Holistaplan.
So little love letters from your friends.
Exactly. And I it's so strange to me because even when we first started, most people pay by credit card, and they were like, can you fill out this W-9 for us? And we were like, I don't think we need to do that for you. And they're like, no, you got to fill out a W-9 because we're paying you more than $600. So maybe we make an attempt to talk about 1099 MISC and 1099 NEC and just try to give some background on what at least our understanding of what advisors really need to be doing, because advisors are running businesses, they've got service providers, I get it, but maybe we don't need to have such an itchy trigger finger on the 1099s. Maybe. Shall we go there, Jeff?
Dude, this is your get off my lawn speech. I got it.
It is.
Stop sending me all these 1099s when you don't have to. Yeah,
I'm in a bit of a bad place because sometimes they look like they're a check and then they're definitely not a check. It's just it's something else. So 1099,
it's really kind of a bait and switch,
It totally is. Like some of them like legit look exactly like a check is coming in. And I open it excited to deposit it and it's just a tax form. All right. So 1099 MISC and NEC, obviously tons of different types of 1099s.
Yep.
My understanding is this really became a thing with the Affordable Care Act 2010, I believe. And the idea, I'm guessing, was they said, oh, this thing's an expensive piece of legislation. And so one way we can pay for it is to prevent people from cheating on their taxes as much. Someone comes over and fixes your plumbing or something and they don't report it or something like that. Is that what was going on with 1099?
Yep, that's right. Close the tax gap. Exactly.
Right. Because they wanted these people to be paying self-employment tax, basically. And I guess Medicare.
Or just tax in general, right? Like anything.
Yeah, any tax at all, right.
We'll take it however it comes.
Yeah. Okay. And so that was 1099. Well, let's talk about what they had in mind for what the rules would be. My understanding is it was if you were changing hands, if more than $600 were changing hands during the year, so not just in one transaction.
That is correct.
For a service, right? So not buying a product, like if I buy a new computer or something like that, that's not 1099 worthy. It's a service. And paid to someone who's not an employee, and also paid to when I was reading about it, like S Corps, C Corps, like corporations, actually, you don't have to do it for them.
That is correct. That is one group. So I think you can start with like the general, if you're a business and you pay more than $600 for something, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you're a business, this is not like I'm a person, mom and dad hire the gardener. Yep. And the gardener makes, $650 throughout the year. Mom and dad don't have to file a 1099 for them. But as a business in general, if you're paying $600 or more to a provider, the question is, do you have to report it? And I guess one of the first exemptions, as you said, is certainly the corporation. The corporation in general, there are a few exceptions, but in general, corporations do not need to be sent 1099s.
And then the next big one, so even if I'm paying someone and it's over $600 and I'm paying by credit card, I guess the assumption is that credit card creates a paper trail. And I think there's something called 1099K or something that they're meant to file, but you don't have to do it for a credit card payment, right?
That's right. It's already on. It's already electronic, right? There's a record of that. An auditor could go back and kind of forensically check and see what you spent on, or more importantly, if you are receiving those payments via credit card, how much the credit card processor paid you. So that's really where this has come from, right? It's like, hey, we know how much you receive from American Express because American Express has this handy little form that they sent us right here. So you don't need to report the things that are on that. IRS already knows it.
Yeah, I can confirm, by the way, a lot of our payments, like most startups or online startups, they use Stripe as the payment processor.
Sure.
And Stripe absolutely does send us a 1099 something. I don't remember the letter after 1099, but they absolutely send us one every year, totaling up what we collected through Stripe. So anyway, yeah, so there's a paper trail there. So, but when you do have to file one, maybe we can talk through kind of best practices on that. My understanding is it's actually been moved up to January 31st as far as the requirement on when to send that. And there is a new, I was looking it up because I'd never seen 1099 NEC. And that's apparently, that existed apparently in 1982 and then got returned in 2020 or 2021 as a new thing. That's the non-employer compensation. They kind of split out 1099 MISC into two things.
That's right. Beginning back in 2020 again, exactly. And that's if a business pays a non-employee more than $600 for the year, you generally, the non-employee may get an NEC. That's correct.
Right. So I got to go back and check if I was getting a combination of NECs and MISCs. I'm not really sure, but certainly I noticed this year, like I've never seen this NEC before. So that was new. Let's see. Exceptions we talked about. Rent. How about rent? Rent, I think, is on 1099 MISC or no? For a,
I mean, it goes back to the general rules, right? Like where.
Oh, okay.
Do you even need to send one, right?
Right.
I mean,
if it's a human, if it's like a person rather than a company sort of deal. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, that's kind of like your checklist, right? Like, am I a person or am I a business? And then to whom am I paying, right? I may have to, maybe I'm paying a corporation, maybe I'm paying, or am I paying by credit card? Today a lot of people will even will pay by credit card. Some landlords will take that. So you got to go back kind of to your kind of flow through of, do I need to pay it? And of course, depending upon how many 1099s you have, you may pay different fees if you file 50 of them versus 20 of them or something like that. So it's worth kind of understanding, and just time and effort, right? Like you said, how many W-9s did you have to fill out unnecessarily? My guess is an awful lot.
Yeah. Well, I think that really, that kind of comes down to, why are people sending me 1099s when they don't need to? Because I mean, I'm getting a lot of them, and I'm speculating here, but
I can confirm that, by the way, because every time Roger gets one of these right now, he sends a very very angry Slack message to me, like, why are these people sending me 1099s?
Right. I'm in a better place now. I think maybe because it's Valentine's Day or something. But yes, it can be. I mean, there can be a stack of them each day in the mail.
Get off Roger's lawn. No more 1099s. I got
sure. And I think, I mean, I'm guessing here, but first of all, if you don't file a 1099 when you're supposed to, there is a penalty, right? And so my guess, and I'm sure like the tax preparer that these advisors are working with might just be like, hey man, let's just do it. And that tax preparer gets another $10 for each one they send out. And just like, rather than, it's not super expensive to prepare this thing, let's just do it. And I'm guessing that's the reasoning, is we just don't want to get a penalty.
You're right. That's probably the reasoning. It's just easy, right? I'm not figuring out whether the company is a corporation or what. Now, here's the thing. I kind of get that one, right? Like, I don't really want to figure out whether you're a independent contractor or whether you're a corporation, or
the recipient. Like, you don't want to go into that detail. Yeah.
I can kind of understand that. But if you're paying by credit card,
right?
Like, that's like, first off, and if you're a business and you can pay by credit card, why would you not? You've got record of your payment for tax purposes, right? Like, I mean, yes, you're supposed to keep receipts. However, there are some court cases where they've had credit card, statements and whatnot, and they've been able to use that, at least some evidence, right? Like if you are if you're an emergency room for profit, you're a for-profit emergency room, and you've got charges for gauze on your credit card statement. Yeah, you may not have the receipt, but it's pretty clear it's business related, right? It's at least good evidence. So why would you not use a credit card? Plus there's points, right? That's kind of nice. Free money as a business owner, as close to it as you'll get. Yeah. So why not use your credit card? And then if you do, very easy to say, run a report in most, accounting systems and say, who got, how much did we pay from petty cash, or how much did we pay from, our bank account at X, Y, and Z together? It's pretty straightforward. So I don't know. Those ones are harder for me to figure out why they're sending out those 1099s, but certainly, if you're paying by credit card, that's one of the beautiful things about it. On top of everything else, is you don't have to worry about sending out those 1099s.
Yeah. I'd say, process wise, I don't know how most people do it, but I mean, essentially, if you have a bill to pay by check, I think a good way to do it is ask for that W-9 then, before you've paid them, because that way you can make sure you get that W-9. There's some incentive for them to provide it for you. So, but if
that is true.
But if that's your deal, if your process is tied to when you write a check for a bill, then you're not going to be asking for W-9s when you're paying by credit card. You just do it as part of your process of bill paying.
Yeah. And it's worth noting, like people say, well, I don't know if they are a corporation or a partnership or whatnot. There is a box on that W-9. It's a little tiny box right at the top that asks, what are you? Are you an individual? Are you a C corporation? Are you an S corporation? So that's how you know. Like, it's not, you don't, and you can rely on that in general, right? Unless you know to the contrary that the business is lying, right? They're saying, oh, I'm a corporation, and they're really a partnership. This is all part of some master plan not to receive mail, Roger. It's on the W-9, so you might as well check it out. Yeah.
And I'll just say, speaking as someone who has to fill out W-9s, because we do have some enterprise type clients who do actually pay by check monthly or something like that. We do fill out W-9s, and so just if you're on the other side of this, it's probably just good to have on file a W-9. So it's very easy to turn that around when you get that request, because if you're doing it by hand every time, that can be a bit of a pain. So that's just something that our clients who are like, what's up with these W-9s? Everyone asks me to do. Just have one on file, make it really easy to send it out. It shouldn't be a problem.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. I think that was all I had. I appreciate you listening to me complain about 1099s over the last few weeks. I mean, honestly, if people want to send them, it's not a big deal. I get them.
No, we're of course joking around, but there is good information here, right? It's like, do I actually legitimately need to waste my time doing this or someone else's time? If it's mine, I'm wasting my own time, which is probably even worse. But if it's somebody else, I'm probably paying for them to waste their time, which is usually not a good thing either.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I think that was it, Jeff. Thank you.
Good deal, man. Hey, I love talking to you. Happy Valentine's Day, buddy.
We only have, this is actually the first in an 85-part series where we go through every single type of 1099. So just be ready for next week when we cover 1099 INT or 1099G. I haven't decided yet. It's going to be great.
Awesome.
Happy Valentine's Day, Jeff.
Happy Valentine's Day, Roger.